Let us start a new topic in the same chapter, the Forest Society and Colonialism. Did you study that previous portion? In the previous portion, we discussed about the causes of deforestation and the policies taken by the British for the conservation of Indian forest. In the first topic, the causes of deforestation, we explained the different factors which lead deforestation in India during British period. In the initial periods of their administration, British cleared Indian forests because they wanted forests for different purposes. They wanted to get raw materials for their industries. They wanted to get the timber for making ships and railways. That's why they introduced plantation crops here. So they cleared the natural forests and planted different types of commercial crops. This process of deforestation, which resulted the massive clearance of Indian forest. So, in order to preserve Indian forest and conserve Indian forest or to enrich Indian forest cover, they appointed a German expert, Dietrich Brandis, in India as the first forest inspector general. And Dietrich Brandis made lots of policies. We already discussed all these policies. And he made a separate department called Indian Forest Service in 1864. Forest Act was passed in 1865. This Forest Act divided forest into three groups: reserve forest, protected forest and village forest. Besides that, a research institute, Imperial Forest Academy, was set up in Dehradun in 1906. Hunting, poaching, etc. was banned. Scientific forestry was introduced. Shifting cultivation was banned by the British. All these policies taken by the British for the conservation of Indian forest, we already learned in the previous classes. Hope you all studied these all portions and be ready for today's class. Today we are discussing two important topics, small topics. One is, how did these forest rules affect the lives of the people? And already we discussed that these forest rules affected people badly. And what was the impact? What were the results of these forest rules? How did it affect the lives of the forest communities? What were the lives of the forest communities were affected? That we are discussing first. The second topic is, how did forest rules affect the system of cultivation? And how was system of cultivation affected? And what was the impact? These small two topics we will be discussing today's class. Dear children, the first important question we are discussing today is, how did the forest rules affect the lives of the people? What was the impact of these forest rules that just we have mentioned? You studied in the previous class. What are the rules made by the British? And now we are discussing in this. Now, how did these forest rules affect the lives of the people? What was the impact? What changed? What was the change introduced by the British, made by the British after this forest rule? The first important point, as you know, that these forest rules made severe hardship, lots of problems in the lives of the people, because these forest communities fully depend on forests for their livelihood. Nothing is to mention more. They depend fully on the lives of the for their life. They used forest products as their food. They used the forest product as medicines. They used the forest products as fuel wood. And almost everything found in the forest were used by the forest communities. That's why these restrictions made by the British caused lots of problems in the lives of the people. Besides that, all their practices that we can write this first point already, just we have mentioned this point. All their practices of the people, everyday practices of the people were made illegal. Were made illegal by the British. That means hunting, poaching, collecting fuel woods, collecting food from the forest. All these day-to-day activities of the local people were banned by the British. That's why people were not allowed to enter the forest. Here happened one particular situation. That means these people were restricted from entering Indian forest. That's why it led these people were forced to steal the products from forest. That means the people forced to steal the foods, fuel woods and other forest products from the forest. For this, already we have mentioned, for this British appointed, for the conservation of forest, British appointed forest guards, police constables, etc. in the forest. If these people were caught, or forest people caught these local communities, they would demand bribes, free food from the people. That means, and these restrictions created the problems. The people were not allowed to enter in the forest. That's why they were forced to steal. If they were caught by the forest guards and police constable, they demanded free food from the people. That's why, and the British made severe policies, which also created the problems for these people. Then another important point, especially women. Women had the responsibility, duty to look after the family and do all the family affairs. That's why women who collect the fuel goods, and water, collect fuel wood and water from the forest, and water were mainly affected. Women had a duty to look after all the day-to-day works. And then as we know that forests are very rich in its fuel wood and as well as water, women had to walk a long distance for fetching water. And these women who collect the fuel wood and water from the forest were severely harassed. They were harassed by the police constables and forest guards. And it made the problems for the people. That means they were tortured, the women were tortured and harassed. And besides that, they had to walk a long distance for fetching water. This made the family problem, this made the health problems for the people. That means the day-to-day life of the people were changed. The hunting, poaching, everything was banned by the British. People were not allowed to enter inside the forest. Besides that, they were forced to steal the products from the forest. And women who collected the fuel wood and forest products and water were harassed by the people. This made social problems too. This changed the lives of the people. That means we can see that the forest rules directly affected or changed the lives of the people. It's a very small topic, and you can see that if you understand this point, you can write the question and answers very clearly in your own words in your notebook. Dear children, let us discuss the next question and answer. The next question what we are discussing now is, why did British ban shift cultivation? Already we discussed in the previous portion, previous class, British banned shift cultivation. And why did British ban shift cultivation? That we are discussing. Why did British ban shifting cultivation? What was the impact of the banning of shifting cultivation? These 2 points we are discussing. Answers we are discussing now. Why did British ban? Have you heard about shifting cultivation? I think everyone knows the word and meaning, practice of shifting cultivation. You already learned in the 8th standard in detail. Shifting cultivation is also known as slash and burn cultivation. Slash and burn cultivation. Slash and burn cultivation. Now you got the answer. What is shifting cultivation? It was known as slash and burn cultivation. The term you already learned. Besides that, one more term is that it is also called as student cultivation or student agriculture cultivation. You just keep these 2 points in your mind. Shifting cultivation was known as slash and burn cultivation and student cultivation. And here comes a question, what is shifting cultivation? The answer is very clear. Everyone knows that, I think. Shifting cultivation is a traditional practice of cultivation in which farmers clear the land for the cultivation, or farmers prepare the land for cultivation by slashing forest, that means by felling trees or felling forest, by cutting forest. As these forest people fully depend on the natural fertility, what they did? They burn the forest remains. They cut the forest and burn the remains. And then the seeds are sown in these ashes. And then when the soil continues cultivation, decreases the soil fertility. When the soil loses its fertility, they shift the agricultural place from one place to another place. That's why it is called a shifting cultivation. It is called a slash and burn cultivation because the farmers clear the land by felling trees and burning the remains. When they change the agricultural land plot from one place to another place, so it is called a shifting cultivation. They didn't settle in one place, they were moving here and there in the forest in this type of cultivation. This traditional practice of cultivation was known as shifting cultivation, we already learned. And Forest Act banned shifting cultivation. Why? Because the first point is, British thought that in the shifting cultivation they burned the forest remains. In this case, British thought that the flames of this fire would destroy forest, would destroy plantation crops. That's why they stopped shifting cultivation. The first point is, they thought that the flames of the fire would destroy forest. That is the first point. Okay, when they burned the remains and large areas of land were affected, in order to stop this, British banned shifting cultivation. The second point is, and the ban of shifting cultivation was very important for the British because British collected taxes, revenue from the people. It was very easy for the British to collect taxes, revenues. And how this banning cultivation made the tax collection easier? As we have discussed, ban of the shifting cultivation, the people were moving here and there. When the people were moved on from one place to another place, it was very difficult for the British to collect the taxes. If they were settled in one place, it is it is easy for the British to collect the taxes. That's why they banned shifting cultivation. It was easy for British to collect taxes from the people. That is the next important point. And third and last important point is, it was very easy for the British to administer the people, rule the people for easier administration. For easier administration, it was easy, it was important to control the lives of the people. Then British could administer or rule the area, control the forested area or forested community very easily. That's why they stopped shifting cultivation. It's very clear that British banned shifting cultivation because British thought that flames of fire would destroy the Indian forest. And the second point, it was very easy for the British to collect the taxes. It made the administration of forested area very easier. That's why British banned shifting cultivation. Is it okay? Dear children, have you understood this point? Then you just think about what happened in the life of the people, forestry communities, after the banning of shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation affected the people. How? What happened? Why did or how did it affect the people? And then shifting cultivation affected a lot. There were some forestry communities reacted against the British because they were forced to leave from one place, forced to leave their homes from the forest. That's why one important research which was created in India in the forestry communities, among the forestry communities, some of these forestry communities were reacted against the British. They started rebellions. They started rebellions against the British, movements against the British. Okay, and that means many forestry communities moved against the British. They started movement against the British because they had no choice, they had no other alternatives. That's why they all organized. They organized the massive rebellions or revolt against the British. That's why after this in 1516 period, many forest rebellions were started or organized in India, and we will be discussing such a rebellion in the next class. That means anyhow, one important rebellion we will be discussing in the next class. Anyhow, we can say now the banning of shifting cultivation resulted many rebellions in India. And the second important point, that is many communities were forced to displace or move their homes from forest to other people, and they engaged in many other occupations. They changed their occupation. That means they were forced to engage in other activities. Some were moved towards cities and towns and worked in other areas. Some were engaged in plantations. That means some forestry communities changed their occupation. That means they stopped all the practices in the forest and they moved to other areas. That is the next important point. And some people helped the British. Some people helped the British. They helped the British in transporting forest, helped the British for their work. Some people helped the British for their work. Some people changed their occupation, moved to other area. Some people reacted against the British. You can see here, and the British or local people or forest communities reacted differently. These changes in the life of the people made lots of problems, and for the British and as well as among their lives. And these changes, especially about the rebellion, what we will be discussing in the next class. Hope you have understood all these things. My dear children, it's a long lesson. You don't forget to read the textbook. And first, when you hear the audio, you write down all these points and you have to write these question and answers in your notebook. But don't forget to read the textbook. Word by word, you should read. And then we can summarize this point, recall these points again. Don't forget, study it and prepare for the test. Just listen this important main points what we have discussed now.
There are 3 questions we have discussed now. The first question is, how did the forest laws affect the people? How did forest rules affect the people? That's the first question. The answer is, the Forest Act made severe hardship for the villagers. Second point, all their practices such as hunting, fishing, grazing their cattle became illegal or banned by the British. Third point, people were forced to steal forest products. Forest Act disallowed the people from entering Indian forest, so the people were forced to steal fuel wood and other products from the forest. Last point, women who collected fuel wood and water were harassed by the forest guards. They were demanded to give money or bribe to the government officials. This also made problems in the life of the forest community. The second question what we have discussed now is, how did forest rules affect the cultivation? What was the change after the enactment of forest laws in the practice of cultivation? The answer is, the practice of shifting cultivation was banned. We have already mentioned shifting cultivation was a traditional form of cultivation which was banned by the British. In shifting cultivation, farmers clear the land by felling trees and burning remains. When soil loses its fertility, the farmers shift their agricultural plot from one place to another. This form of cultivation is called a shifting cultivation. This practice was banned by the British. Here comes a question. Why did the British ban shifting cultivation? We can see that answer in the next slide. The third question what we have discussed now is, why did British ban shifting cultivation? We have already mentioned British banned shifting cultivation, and why? The British believed that the practice of shifting cultivation was harmful because, the first point, they felt that the land which was used for cultivation every few years could not grow tree for railway timber. That means it was very difficult for the British to grow plantation crops in the land or inside the forest. Second point, they thought that fire would destroy the forest. That means the flames of fire would destroy the forest. It was also difficult for the British. The third point, shifting cultivation made difficulties for the British government to collect taxes. Is these village people shifting cultivators over on moving from place to place? It was very difficult for the British people to collect taxes. These 3 question answers we have discussed today's class. I will not send the questions again, assignment questions again. These 3 questions you have to write in your notebook with their answers and study well.